Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky.
Good morning.
I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are living lucky.
You are too.
What goes around comes around.
Ooh, I like it.
That is the thought that we are talking about today. What goes around comes around.
Cosplay.
Do you believe that's true?
I 100% believe that's true. I didn't always believe that was true. I was always waiting for things to come back through a door that I was expecting it to come back through.
How come when we think that it's not true, we often go to, well, I've been putting out good and it hasn't been coming back to me.
Yeah, and then life turns to be unfair. Like
we become victims
I'm always
of our
getting
own
the
lives.
short end of the stick. I'm always giving. I'm the giver. I'm not a receiver. And that's where I was.
And maybe you're giving out negative juju vibes.
Well, of course you are. When you feel
which is
like
what comes back to you.
Yes, because once you start labeling life as not fair, and once you start saying it's not coming back to me,
It's not coming back to me now. Or is it? It's all coming.
It's all coming back. Yes.
Oh, we're correcting ourselves.
When you put that thought in your head about it's not coming back to me,
Yes.
you put it basically a lens, like a pair of sunglasses on that say, I'm only going to see how it's not coming back to me now.
Yes. Whereas
And then you find that.
if you take responsibility and you say whatever it is that's coming back to me, that's what I've been putting out in the world.
My world changed back in like 2000, I want to say 7 or 8, that when I started just allowing and just I freed myself of life isn't fair, life isn't working out for me. And when I did that, it was really about living more fully into me and serving and giving and being the me that I want to be and that I was. And then when I didn't have any expectations, it was incredible how things just kind of came back to me from different angles. So
but you have to be aware enough to recognize it.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get specific here because we don't want to talk in broad strokes.
And hyperbole.
This is the situation. I have this ticket to go to a conference this coming weekend in Toronto.
Yeah.
I only bought one ticket because I was thinking, this will be a nice little getaway for me. Now,
Little
since
Jana
then,
trip.
I've invited like 5 people to go with me and nobody has been able to go or they don't want to go. So that's the other thing. And within the last 2 weeks, because we've gone through two really shaking hurricanes for Florida, and even though we fared fairly well, our communities are still not back up and going.
And we're not still completely back up and going.
And we had a gala. We're on this foundation, and Jason and we have been planning this gala for our Share the Love Foundation. And because of the hurricanes, that has been postponed.
Yep.
And so now the timing just doesn't feel right for me to go to this retreat. The retreat was Liz Gilbert and Martha Beck in Toronto.
Yeah.
So I have this extra ticket and it's kind of late in the game to sell it.
And it's kind of a with everything, if everything had been perfect, there still would have been a lot of work in rescheduling flights, hotels, all the ancillary things around it.
And this one ticket is in the wheelchair accessible section. And so like to find the perfect person to sell my ticket to that feels heavy. That feels heavy and it feels
daunting.
So this morning I was like, you know what? It's just my gift. It is my gift to the universe. And at this point in the game, I just want my ticket to be used. And when I changed my energy around this,
I'm losing this $500 for the ticket.
Yes.
I spent this money. I'm not going to get to use it. It's now, it turns it from I'm a victim to it's a gift.
It's a gift. And I know that the right person is going to come to me and say, I would love that ticket. I also know that by giving them that ticket and giving them that experience, it might not come back from them, but the universe will reward me in some way, shape, or form. I just know.
Yeah, especially when you allow it and you're not looking for what's the next shoe to drop about me not living a fair life.
And I'm not even looking for a reward. I just know that by me changing my energy around this ticket, I will attract different experiences.
There will be abundance, I believe, tenfold or more that comes back.
And it's scientific is what it is. It's science. What we put out in the world, we attract. We attract what we are. And Jason and I have often said that we attract what we are. But when it comes to this particular thing, I literally had a conversation this morning. I was like, do I have a money block? And I was looking for everything that was wrong with me. And literally what I did was I said, you know what, this feels like a better energy for me to just give it to whomever can use it at this point.
And how often do we get in those like disempowering energies and we look for more reasons to be in those energies when there's a different truth involved in there? And you can choose the different truth. They're both true. Like if you believe and want them to be true, they're both true. So choose the one that empowers you, choose the one that lifts you, that makes you, that gets you into the feeling that you want to feel and experience. And I'll say that abundance just doesn't work if everyone is holding on to everything.
Yeah, or if you have an attitude deep down that you're not getting your fair share, or you're getting the short end of the stick.
And I think everyone has, like, I would have to search for that in me right now, just because I haven't experienced that as of late. But I think we all have, because those blind spots.
You are really good about, I feel, you give without any expectations in return. That's what this is really about.
And part of that was because of the change that I saw in my life when I started doing that. Like I remember specifically, because I was in sales for 25 years.
Yes.
And when you're in sales, you're going to meet someone, you're going to have a conversation, you're going to uncover their needs, and then you're going to provide a solution. When they don't want the solution, you feel like I wasted my time. They're idiots. You start creating all these stories about life and people and the people that you deal with every day. And do you remember me saying, I was like, I talked to 18 idiots today and 3 people that had sense. Because I saw the problem. Uh-huh. And I couldn't.
When you say sense, you're literally meaning they only want to pay you in nickels and dimes.
Yeah. They didn't want to come off of that. Because the solution that I was providing was high value, money saving, time saving, and I didn't do it. I didn't look at it as me having a challenge communicating that service or solution. I looked at it as them going, I'm closed to that. I'm not going to do it. Like the world is closed off. They're not open to learning and understanding. And so I created that story. But then when I started saying, okay, I'm just going to.
Okay, now before you go any further, because in that story, what you're putting out reflects back to us. Yes. And that is why you weren't getting the sales that you thought you needed at that time.
And that really came down to me understanding them, or me trying to explain me and the service that I provide and not fully understanding them. But it's the whole thing about giving. The reason I was doing all that is because I wanted the Rolex, I wanted the nice car, I wanted all these things, and I kept feeling like they're blocking me from it. When I started understanding them and saying, I'm just going to give freely, and that freely my understanding, my energy, and live in more a love feeling, that's when changes started. I started understanding what people really needed and where they were, and then I could bring them towards where they were going to be in a more abundant, productive space.
Oh, I'm having an aha moment. Like this is really,
And I quit
this is a
caring about
breakthrough for me.
I quit caring about the specific Rolex. Like if the universe wants me to be abundant, I'm going to have a Rolex.
Mm-hmm.
But my income doubled. My relationships built. Like it wasn't transactional at all.
Because it literally bleeds into other parts of your
Yeah,
life.
and what happened is the energy that I was in, it wasn't like it was fun to go out and have these conversations with people. And if they said no, I understood, okay, well that's just where you are now. And
if you want to change your life, change your energy.
Yes.
Change your energy.
And that will ultimately change the lens that you look at life through.
But there's so many blind spots. There's so many blind spots because seriously, with this whole, I know it sounds like such a minuscule example with a concert ticket or a retreat ticket is what it was. It was a high dollar retreat ticket, but it has literally been weighing heavy on me
for weeks.
As soon as Hurricane Helene was coming through, I'm like, oh my gosh, is this going to affect my trip? And then it didn't. But then Hurricane Milton came through, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is this going to affect my trip? And yes, now I have freed myself all from one little text where I said, it's my gift to the universe.
To a friend in Toronto.
That I haven't even met yet.
In person.
I don't even know who that person is.
Yeah. And I guarantee you, so just having the feeling and not having the heaviness is potentially a way the universe is paying you back.
And yeah, exactly.
So, but if we're not looking in that direction, we're like, where's my money? Where's my money, honey? But when you think about what's it worth not to feel this heaviness? What's it worth not to feel this dread? What's it worth not to feel like this is my coaching clients. They're like, oh, I'm not ready to pay that yet. Well, have you achieved the things that you want to achieve? No. Are you moving in that direction? I don't feel like I am right now. So what's it worth to
pay that debt?
To make the investment in yourself.
Yeah, let's reframe it. It's not pay the debt, it's make the investment.
Yeah.
Make the investment. So sometimes so here's another breakthrough. No, I just had another breakthrough. So what you're saying, Jason, is sometimes we need to give first.
Yes.
Give first. So if we make that investment in ourselves, and what he's really saying
is give me your money.
Change the energy in your own life. From the way you do that is by giving.
Yes.
Giving freely.
And because what you're holding on to is the feeling that I can do this myself and I haven't. And then that gets very heavy. That's where regret comes in. That's where every birthday comes by and you're like, I'm not where I want to be right now.
Or you start thinking that there's some sort of flaw.
Yes.
In yourself, like you're not good enough, or you're like we're speaking in very broad strokes. I hope that you're following us because I am having such a breakthrough right now in what you're saying.
Well, because we're talking about the conference that you didn't get to go to, and it brought me back to the first conference that we went to together.
Okay.
And maybe we'll save that for the next podcast, because when we hired our first coach, it changed our lives.
Because we invested in ourselves, which changed our energy.
Yes. Huge.
Okay, so
next podcast.
Again, Jason and I are speaking because we've been married for so long, and because we spend so much time together. Sometimes we speak in we just had a whole conversation up here in our heads by just looking at each other, and really went, "Hey, Jason, let's don't change the subject. I don't really want to go there because we're talking about something else right now." And then it makes it difficult for people who listen to us all the time to understand. We're almost like twins that have
sex.
That just got weird. That just got weird for everyone that was hearing that. Okay, so let's just
say sandwiches.
Let's recap of everything we just talked about. The thought is what goes out
comes back
abundantly.
To you.
However, if you are putting what goes out comes back to you. If you are looking for reasons of why it's not coming back to you, of how you are giving more than the universe is giving back, you start getting into a lack mentality.
And if you put stipulations on things, oftentimes those stipulations aren't going to be fully met, which makes you, again, grab that energy of, I'm getting the short end of the stick, because disappointment comes in the form of unexpressed expectations.
And what you're really doing, those thoughts are creating an energy around you. And so what happens is you manifest your fears.
Yeah. You just drag that's baggage that you grab hold on, and you move that forward into all your new actions, all the new relationships, experiences, and there's a residue that comes with it that gets things similar to that to stick.
And it's the way the universe teaches you the lessons that you need to learn in order to raise your consciousness.
Spiritual curriculum.
And so what happened this morning in this particular case is I decided, instead of living in, the hurricanes came and I can't go to this conference and now I have this $500 ticket and I don't know what to do with it and I just feel like I wasted my money and nobody's going to want to buy it because it's in the disabled section.
I wasted my time planning
I don't know anyone that needs to go to this conference.
The people that are in my sphere that would go to that conference.
I've invited 5 people and nobody is even interested. So I've been living in this. I have this worthless ticket. Yeah. However, I changed my energy around it this morning by literally just saying, it's my gift. Whoever would like it and whoever can use it, I would love to transfer it to you for free. Yeah. It's literally a gift. And once I did that, I changed my energy, which changes the experiences that I have. So then it comes back to what goes around comes around.
Love
and
it.
You get to decide what comes around.
Yeah. By deciding what
you put out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then you're living lucky.
Okay, let's stop right there. I hope you followed that, because for me, I just had some extreme aha moments. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jana.
Have a great day.
Keep living lucky.
Bye-bye.
If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.